So you need to make yourself a facing with an exposed zip. Yeah, so you're going to make a facing and then have it neatened down. You can do it without, but it's a much easier method if you have a facing, and the zip is then just sewn on the back. So you would have right sides together, make your facing like about 2.5 centimetres longer than your finished of your zip. Your zip starts below the seam allowance. Obviously you add seam allowance around your neck, that sort of thing. I'm just showing you how to do this bit. So the black line is sort of your length of your zip, which comes all the way to the bottom. You will be cutting like a Y here, and we're going to stitch an oblong first of all, and then cut down and open it out and turn the facing through. So the width of the rectangle that you're sewing needs to be basically the gap that you want for the exposed teeth, and obviously different zips are different sizes. So start and finish. So we're going to I always put my stitch length up before I start because I don't like them too close together, and then just normal backwards and forwards. So I'm obviously using contrasting threads just so you can see it. You just make it all match, and you need to be very, very accurate in your measurements for your oblong, because that's the gap. So you need to know exactly where you're turning, and that needs to be the bottom of the zip. Alright, I've done 3 stitches across, and it's going to line up with the edge of so I know that's about 1/4 inch or 7 millimeters. So this is right sides together, so this is the wrong side of the facing. Alright, and then you just need to trim it. So what you're now going to do is be very, very accurate in your cutting, and you're going to cut all the way through both layers, the top but stop about 1.5 centimetres short, no more than 1 centimetre up, and very accurate. You're going to cut right up to that corner with very sharp scissors. Okay, so it goes right up to that corner. Alright, and then it's in a Y, so you go up and then out to 2 Ys, and make sure you don't cut through the stitches, but you get right up. And then if this is the right side of the garment, you've turn that through, alright, and you'll be able to take that to the iron and press it, and that then gives you the negative space once that's pressed, and then your zip will go in there. So I'm going to press it and get a zip and show you. So once it's pressed, you can see that's come out. You need to cut right up into those corners for that to go flat. Otherwise you'll get pleats and creases. So it's all in that all-important snip, because you can see that has to open out. So that's why you need to snip that, so they splay out. If it's a bit bouncy like this fabric, you could do some understitching, but to hold it in place on that side, on the facing side. But when you put your zip in and the teeth are exposed, you're going to be using the zip foot to stitch it in place anyway, so that will help with any of that. Alright, so that's just adding a facing. I mean, obviously that could just be a cutout if you wanted a shape cut out, so that's just using the facing without a seam, just by cutting it in.